So many questions in my inbox as to why I went back to nursing. Well, this is one of those times where you never say never. Clearly, God has other plans for me. So why'd I go back? Really, it was just, I wasn't looking for anything. Wasn't looking for a job or anything like that. It kind of just happened upon me. Um, I overheard one of the girls in my church talking about how she just started working for this job. She's nurse manager, and I turned around. I was like, nurse manager. Like, this is one of those times where like you should think before you speak. But I was just so surprised, and I was like, "You're nurse manager? I never pegged you for a nurse manager." And she's like, why? And then that's when I kind of regretted what I started saying. And I was like, no, no, no. Like, you're a nurse, you know what I'm talking about. Nurse managers are always crabby, always like upset, always like very high stress. Like, it's a high stress job. Um, I was like, you're just like always happy. Like, I just never figured you to be like, in that line of work. I was like, yeah, I was a nurse for like 5 years, and I stopped to be just like, stay at home mom with the kids. And like, oh, would you ever go back? And I was like, not really. I keep my license active, in the case that maybe one day. She was like, we're actually looking for nurses, and I would love to have you. She started telling me about the job and this and that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this must be God calling me back somehow. I like the way she approached it. She just said, go home, talk it over with your husband, and see if this would actually be a right fit for your family at this time. Decided, you know what? Why not? Working at an allergy clinic in Manhattan. And there's another thing. I said I would never go to Manhattan. So I'm in Manhattan. I'm back in nursing, like 1 to 2 days a week. It's like a per diem thing. It's not something that I wanted to go full force back into. So it's like I'm working around my lifestyle. Fiance's working full time. I'm working 1 to 2 days a week. Kind of works out for us because shortly after I started working, we decided, you know what, like we've been holding off our wedding for X amount of years. I think we've been engaged for about 5 years or so. I've been holding it off because it's so expensive, like picky and like controlling about certain things the way I wanted it to be. Shortly after I started this job, it was like a thought came into my brain, like start looking up venues. And I was like, that's how God speaks. I knew it was God speaking to me. He's like, start looking up venues. And I was like, okay. So I started, and I found out that it's find out generally what you want. Keep it simple if you want, make it big if you want. Go according to whatever your budget is. And that's what I did. Like, I figured out what I wanted, and it's all within budget. It's gonna cost me less than $10,000 probably for everything. I'm gonna keep you guys in the loop. We start planning our wedding, and this job that I got is basically going to pay for the wedding. Kind of just all working out. I'm being obedient to what God wants. It's time for us to get married. It's been time for a very long time. And I think after this milestone, so many more blessings will come. And, you know, as long as I'm doing exactly what He's asking me to do, I just see just like a whole bunch of things taking off like little by little. That is why I'm back in nursing. I honestly enjoy it. Like, the reason I left nursing in the first place was because I didn't like the management. I didn't like the work culture. I didn't like the high stress. High stress meaning like, obviously nursing is a stressful job, but stress in the sense of like it's always short staff. It's things that we can control. Nursing is a job where patients are coming through the door and you don't know what's going to happen that day. That's not the stress I'm talking about. I'm talking about the stress that we are able to control in the workplace, where we're collaboratively working together, where it's not short staffed. There's not a lot of things on our shoulders that is making our job hard. So that's one of the main reasons I left. And with this job, to be the complete opposite. Everyone is working together. We actually work as a team. The patient load is increasing, so that's why they were looking for more nurses. And I joined the team, and I'm actually enjoying it. Like, I go to work and I'm not like stressed. I used to get anxiety like getting up and going to work, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. And short staffing, is there going to be enough nurses? to take care of all these patients this day. Like, who's gonna die? Genuinely, I enjoy it. And 1 to 2 days a week is enough for me. Make enough for the wedding, pay it off, and we'll go from there. And I get to stay home with my kids the majority of the week. I'm back here making content for you guys, so we'll see. So that's the story, and I'll catch you guys later.